Looks like T Sigma is aware, though, and gonna try to get us back up. Yeah, humbugh get that extra money to buy the bombs.
And yeah, we are back up. Cool. So we'll see where we're at once Vortex gets his glove and mirror. We'll be... And humbugh activates his flute. We'll all be even back up.
Yeah, humbugh luckily getting only one cac trip. It's just a lot of back and forth for the other stuff.
He's going from the south, which to me indicates he's planning to get Daburna.
Yeah, that was the other point we talked a lot about.
You probably can benefit from having on this scene.
Yeah, and I mean, this race is an elimination race between these two. Loser is out of the tournament, so, you know, making sure you don't die in what is going to be a hard one in this mid game at least, or mid-late game. You know, a safety here could be just that huge of a difference. But yeah, Vortex is going to have his glove momentarily and be kind of a little bit ahead, although, okay, I guess I was just not watching for the cannonballs on his end, trying to plan out that route probably still a little bit. There's some details that it's kind of, you're unsure of probably at this point.
It looks like he's looking at money is probably what he was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty available 300 in Swamp for money. Okay, so this is another one of the decision points. Was you're gonna need a fire source. You can either get the lamp from Paradox with this equipment, or you can get your fire rod from Zelda Cell. And I mean, you're committing to not having a fire rod, or not having a lamp if you go get this fire rod without your boots. So, Vortex is playing pretty aggressive, but hopefully it won't backfire.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you actually still skip the lamp at this point, or?
The only other alternative I could see is if you're not skipping lamp, is you're going to do it with silvers. So you don't really need it before silvers, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a question of how comfortable you are in Dark Mire.
I mean, you're gonna have the other tools for it, like to set up some easy stuff. We'll have the boots, we should have hookshot, or we'll have hookshot as well, so...
You'll have boots, you'll have hookshot, but you will not have cape, or unless you also... Like, cape is also next to silvers, next to lamp, so... All on East Death Mountain.
Yeah, unfortunately, Paradox Cave, where that lamp is just about all garbage. Or it is all garbage, not just about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a hard time looking at anything there, and there's really nothing. I think the one saving grace for that lamp is you could argue that since you're already on the mountain and should have your boots, it's really just a run over, and you're only spending the time to run over, drop down, and then get Para 2.
That was a heads up by Vortex to grab the tree pole. Make sure to have some resources.
So like the whole argument could also come down to, you know, oh, I'm like for Vortex, he's a little bit ahead right now. The amount of time he's ahead, maybe he could say, reasonably, I could try to get that lamp real quick for the benefit leader in this race.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Not
a question
that-
of how comfortable you feel you are in Meyer. Because I think that they're with Fire Rod, both of these guys are going to be comfortable with all the other Dark Rooms.
Yeah.
And you'll have, you know, by the time you come up to Ganon, you'll have silvers and half magic, so that's never going to be a concern. By the end of this seed, we're pretty juiced.
Yeah, like we were saying, it's, you know, this early game, as you can see, like, we have Dark World access, but we're still bootsless, we're still swordless. You know, there's still quite a bit we're missing. And even, like, for a while, that's going to be the case. And even though, like, end of this race, we're talking tempered silvers, there's going to be a sizable portion where the best we can realistically do is Master Sword.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're on Master Sword till GT.
Yeah.
Humbugh. Humbugh is mislabeled something and walked down to the cage. Vortex is pretty low on health, actually.
Yeah, I could see maybe a Death Warp.
I doubt it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Because, like, I guess what I really would want to see from Vortex is not doing the bomb jump at this point. Just, you don't have a sword to set it up, and you have...
We have Petting Zoo, and Petting Zoo is... Petting Zoo is dangerous. I don't care what level you're playing this game at. Low health in the Petting Zoo is scary.
Swordless.
Yeah.
Okay, Vortex hit the switch, so he's planning on just grabbing hearts before Moldorm. So that's... Okay. We will try this again. We did not like that RNG one bit. Nice spooky kill.
I was going to say, was that a spooky?
This is a very spooky kill. Okay, so we do the hammer setup. Nice.
I mean, I would have done a bonk setup, but yeah, both work.
How many extra pixels does the bonk setup give you?
I want to say it's at least like 4 pixels. So like we're talking quite a bit of range. I know I don't do the spin setup, so.
Oh, okay. So Humbugh is going to drop down, hopefully. Yeah.
But yeah, our runners can watch this restream. They can watch each other's streams. More likely you'll watch their stream because there's a lot of added delay between each other and this.
Yeah. I mean, this is also a little easier to just compare.
Yeah.
You don't really need to know where he's at relative. Like, even if this is 2 minutes behind, you still see that he picked up the crystal like 30 seconds ahead of you. Which is all you really need.
Really good close Moldorm action there on Humbugh's side. And it looks like Vortex is going to go for that lamp.
Yeah. And so this could... If Humbugh skips this and doesn't get punished for not having lamp, that'll just fully catch him up.
Well, that's the thing. Humbugh went for Burna. I almost feel like given his Burna pickup, he's more incentivized not to pick up lamp, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah. So that now Humbugh has the lead, assuming no one makes any mistakes.
Well, I will say, like, how much time, does Lamp save you in Mire Basement? Like, these are little things we don't think about. You're just like, I can beat Mire Basement with Dark. Like, you and I know that that's just part of the kit to do tech-wise. But we both appreciate the idea that we be faster with it.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe not that much faster.
I mean, are you doing Dark Spooky?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also the easier mire where you don't need to do the first spooky. Second spooky is not bad.
And there was another little hiccup from Humbug. Didn't look too pleased about getting that small key out of the big chest. I know that, like, you can do some skipping, but it's not to your benefit.
No.
To pick that small key up.
No, but he needed that for logic. I hope he remembers to skip a key, yeah.
Yeah, skip that second one. Or the third one, really. And he doesn't. Ouch.
No, now we have a one key of shame landmill kill.
Yep. Vortex going to have one extra fire rod shot coming into this Landmo fight, though. So a little bit of leeway. We'll see if Humbug, though, does get that one cycle. Does hit his 4 shots. Unfortunately, that second one just was not cooperating. But nice 6-shot kill.
So, it looks like we're evened up here. Oh, no, Vortex is not gonna... Vortex gonna have a 2 cycle? Or 3?
I think that's yeah. And Vortex also running out of magic on his fight. So even having that extra magic just didn't work out as well. But there is our first dungeon, and it is a pendant. And yes, our runners do want that pendant. What was that pickup for Humbug? Was that just some arrows?
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, it's just like, what did we go back for in that guard pack? Maybe bombs.
Guard pack is bombs, yeah.
Okay, so I guess there was a bomb drop. Oh, the 4 bomb. Okay.
We love picking up bushes.
Now, of course, we are heading into Thieves Town right now. Or I think Thieves Town.
So you need to do Thieves Town, you need to do Brewery. You don't need to do Thieves Town now. No, Thieves Town has the flipper. Yeah, you need to do Thieves Town now.
I will say, based on the equipment we have, I actually am more in favor of what Humbug did getting Burna here. 5 heart blinds. Yeah, no, I like the Burna play now even more.
I mean, I think 5 heart blind is not too spooky with Samaria in hand. So Vortex, I don't know where we're going. I don't.
What's on the library? Or is he getting Burna now?
He's getting Burna and a heart.
Okay.
Which I guess is fine. There's no other time to do this, so this is fine. I just was concerned that we were not doing Thieves Town here. But yeah, I don't know. With 5 hearts, Samaria, and hammer, I'm not too concerned actually. It's pretty. Like you get hammer hits for the first bit, and then you have. And you have. You can just kick a Samaria block over for the last phase.
Yeah, I know I could do it. I just, if I know Berna was here, I'd be a little bit happier.
I would be pulling out Berna here.
Yeah, that too.
Oh Jesus! So yeah, at this point, I'm in Humbug shoes. I'm just taking this hallway pretty safe.
Yeah, that was not very safe way to take that hallway. I mean,
just have confidence in yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the crickets never
there we
get
go.
away.
That now I'm feeling better. You have a cricket. Yeah. You have a cricket hit in you.
Now, after this Thieves Town for Humbug, are you going to get that heart container on library if you're in Humbug shoes?
Nope.
No, that's not even part of your route at this point.
I think Humbug committed to never getting that library container when he... Oh,
and there's that's an unfortunate mirror over on Vortex's side. You can see he was not very pleased with that one.
Yeah, that's pain.
Yeah, if you're not used to this, one of the other things we get to do for the SGL Online is our runners for the Link to the Past randomizer side. We're required to have a face cam, so we're getting to see some reactions here as they happen.
Oh, that's why he mirrored. He forgot the small key.
Oh, okay.
Also unfortunate.
Yeah. At least he remembered it when he did.
I assume he blinded. He bombed open the ceiling and then mirrored. I looked away from him.
I missed that part, so
hopefully.
Good phase 1 with a hammer. Humbug now switching over to Berna. He's got plenty of magic to go through phases 2 and 3.
Just use Berna Vortex. Okay. Man, look at all this lag. Ancient ROM.
Yes, a couple of things in terms of rule sets and ROMs. This tournament is going to continue on slow ROM, so expect those little bits of lag or manageable amounts of lag. And then, of course, the other part of this is Specky Clip. Specky Clip is still illegal today for this tournament. I will say that there is a race planned for 2 o'clock tomorrow, and that will be our first official race of the tournament to have legal Specky Clip in it.
Is it 2 o'clock going to be legal? When did the Tark announcement happen?
1:40 yesterday.
I see.
So 48 hours later.
Is this 2 o'clock intentional?
No, we scheduled that before the race. Before we knew.
Seems suspect.
Yep. I swear I had no inside info.
Coming from the Tark admin, this seems sus.
I mean, realistically, we were going to announce it probably a couple hours before that, but computers and all that fun stuff.
Oh, Vortex. Oh my god.
So our next stop is, of course, Swamp Palace. This is a clearable crystal. Unfortunately, we are still swordless. Our first sword is not going to be until after probably that 3rd pendant. Or definitely after that 3rd pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be Swamp, and then our next stop should be Pod, and then our next stop is a sword.
Yep.
Humbug grabbing his 300 rupees here. Vortex has scrounged together enough money to not need to that, but I kind of like grabbing.
Did you see if any bottle was free?
I didn't look. Let's take a quick check. I kind of like grabbing the. There's a hype cave has a bottle with a golden bee in it. So that's not bad. I like grabbing the. Oh geez, vortex.
Oh man, ran out of magic at just the wrong time. Unfortunately, having low health entering that fight, not a great situation, and kind of had to play with burn it in phase 1, and that just is not the best because then you were at phase 3 without burn it.
Yeah. So I like grabbing the money there from Humbug's side because he can grab an arrow upgrade off after doing Ice Palace and then has a pretty comfortable Vidi fight. Vortex is opting to leave and just come back here later with a sword, which is probably the right call at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think I might have just saved and quit for the free health refill.
Yeah.
And yeah, here we go. Left side swamps. We're getting the diver down. We do need left side swamp today. This isn't really optional stuff.
We did not need to flip the switch. It's a little bit of a... Okay. Well, Vortex is getting that health refill anyway.
Yeah, and that's kind of the unfortunate piece there is, was back down to 2 hearts, and those bomber birds are not always kind and manageable.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if they're manageable with good play, or if they're just unmanageable sometimes.
It feels like they do have some kind of weird, like almost like how Moldorm will chase and then not chase for certain periods of time. It does feel like sometimes the bomber birds have a similar programming to them.
So Humbug went and got the big key so he can get a heart, so that's why he flipped the switch.
I mean, he's got the leeway right now.
Yeah, if he
wise, if he's paying attention or if he's watching this at all, like he can see that I've got like a dungeon and a half.
Yeah, unfortunately for Vortex, like at this point, if Humbug is watching, he just needs to play pretty safe and tap this in.
Now, we were talking about the silvers earlier and Meyer and Vidi. If you were watching this, and I don't know if you watch too closely during these races, but like if you're watching, does this cause you to go get silvers?
Yeah.
Before Meyer?
Yeah. I think that, especially for Humbug's situation, he doesn't have lamp either. This is
right.
Like my only lose condition at this point is dying in Meyer. It's like, why not just go grab those silvers? And lamp.
Oof, and that first double puff grab for Humbug, I think we lost, what, 2 or 3 hearts on it?
Yeah.
So...
I guess this is your other lose condition, is to die to Swordless Argus. Don't get... Okay. Don't go for these. They're scary.
I think the scariest ones are the up hook shots, because those are the easiest to kind of have a puff right on top of you after hook shotting and taking that stray damage.
Oh, Argus, he be coming. Okay, I usually don't watch because I have a hard time just playing my game when I'm like, yeah, a little behind or something like that. Like, not enough that I should be worrying about it, but then I am.
Yeah. And generally, I'm the kind of person who likes to route dungeons while I'm in the race anyway. So having like the restream or my opponent up becomes a lot harder to do when I have to kind of plan out the next dungeon. Like for Humbug, I gotta imagine, you know, I'd be planning out pod right now. But yeah, that's 4 dungeons. Only, well, 2 of those were crystals. And yeah, here we go. We're heading off to Palace of Darkness. And yeah, you were talking about that money situation earlier. Vortex did skip the 300 in the map chest here in Swamp Palace. Also skipped that big key.
Yeah.
So he did not flip the switch, able to save a little bit of time on that.
Yeah, I think in Vortex's position, he needs to basically try and claw back as much time as possible so that he is in a position to capitalize if Humbug makes a mistake, because that's really his only out at this point, is to punish a mistake from Humbug. He doesn't have any other outs, but he needs to still play well at this point to punish a mistake. A Mire death or a Cold Stare death.
Oh, this is an interesting pod for routing, I have to say.
Is it?
Just taking... I think there's some... Like, having to do right side here for... like, I think you're getting powder in the key, and then what? You're going to the back?
Yeah, you just go to the back, grab...
come back through Harmless?
Yeah, come back out through Harmless Hallway.
Doesn't look like we need anything out of the Dark Maze, so...
Yeah, you don't even need to grab the bridge key, you just go straight to the back here. Or you do, grab the bridge key for some reason.
I mean, the question is, how do you want to get your, get this the switch hit here, so...
Why do you need to hit the switch?
Oh, good point. We do have Samaria.
Yeah. This is fine. Minor misroutings from Humbug, but it would have been cleaner if you just grabbed the small key in the basement here and then go out through Harmless Hellway and go to the front. Or go to the back from there.
Right. And that's the thing, like, we're talking about these, you said it's a minor thing. It's, when we're talking spoiler, this is huge, is the thing. Is like, that one little difference of, skipping the bounce back on the bridge and instead doing the clip here, like, those little optimizations make all the difference, especially at high level play.
Yeah, I mean, Humbug probably misrouting this dungeon probably cost him 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Which,
and,
is a lot.
Yeah. The difference between a race being, a minute, like, there's half your time almost. Or a third to half your time.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, like, when I'm playing, some of the really good runners, and I'm falling to Ganon as they're killing Ganon, and it's like, Ganon's a 1 minute long fight. It's like, yeah, that's there's 1 or 2 mistakes that, like, aren't just, like, don't look like complete mistakes. Like, Humbug's pod routing wasn't like, wow, that's terrible, he died to the boss. Like, yeah, those are easy to identify, but, like, all these little things add up pretty quick. Then again, those things also add up in, like, a normal rando race. You just get to not know about it immediately.
Yeah.
Humbugh is going for hammer hits, but he's not. I would have.
I was gonna say, look at that arrow situation.
I would have done hook speed. I would still do hook speed.
Yep.
I hate this. I hate going for these hammer hits. Okay. Humbugh is trading 1-for-1s with. I have more health than you.
Got blue mail.
Look at his face. He knows it. I have more health than you, idiot.
Props for recognizing it.
So, Eastern, then Saha, then Skull Woods. Or Magic Bat, then Skull Woods.
Yeah. No, I think this race starts to simplify down a bit in the routing.
Yeah, well, after this, I just have listed go beat 6 dungeons. So like,
I was gonna say, could we get ether marked off for both of our runners as well? I believe they both have their ether medallions.
Come on, beer. What's going on here? Could you place a Keck W symbol on both of their swords as well? How often do you think you have a 40 minutes into a spoiler seed with no swords?
With how rarely I play spoiler, never.
I don't think I've ever seen it. This is pretty great. I wonder if Humbugh's watching, because like he has a very comfortable lead, but in general, he's had a lot of like minor execution errors that like certainly don't cost as much as Vortex's Thieves Town disaster. But I wouldn't feel like I was in a great position if I was Humbugh.
Yeah, that's a question of like how well you know your opponent right now. I think is the other piece. Like, you know,
Well,
Vortex is known for doing pretty well in this mode, so like I would be a little concerned given that, you know, stuff like this for Humbugh.
Nice quick kill. So Vortex did go for the hook speed.
Yeah, and both runners really not in great shape arrow-wise to even try for like bow strats here, so appreciate keeping to the hammer strat for both.
Humbugh went back into the Dark World, then back into Pod. Neither of which is what we wanted.
And at 37.5 minutes, we are no longer swordless over on Humbugh's side.
Ooh, Humbugh is
really
not good.
Okay.
I think this must mean he's going for purple chest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, we had said that probably you skip purple chest sword, but given the fact that he's probably getting silvers after Meyer, I guess that has to indicate he's thinking purple chest here.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. I'm unsure, but I suspect this is a I've looked and seen my lead type of thing. Like his lead is pretty insurmountable, minus a death. So
Yeah, I mean, for Vortex at least, like, that Thieves to Skull route is not terrible. Like, this isn't like I'm going back to Vu for, you know, just Thieves Town. It's just unfortunate how that route's going to play out. Like, there are worse situations for Vortex, but this is not a good one to be in.
sure. And he's
right
down
side
like,
here.
He's down like a solid
Yeah.
4 minutes. Maybe less than 4, but he's down. He still has to do the back of Eastern into re-enter the Dark World at Vu without the mitts into beat Thieves Town before he's caught up.
Yeah.
Well, like
he's already down 2 dungeon or 2 bosses, and he's about to be like down a little bit more still, and he still has to get that sword off of Saha.
Yeah, I'm like, I think Humbugh probably has a Cold Stare Death in the tank.
Yes.
That's the amount of leadway we have right now, which is just pain.
Yeah, when we're talking you're able to die in Ice Palace potentially, like that's like nailing a coffin in most races, especially spoiler, and that's just a huge margin to have built. Oh, good money on the Moth. But yeah, Vortex gets a crystal back, and then Humbugh immediately already has Skull done, so... Still down 2 dungeons, as Humbugh is going to mirror here, because, yeah, the one thing we really didn't talk about is this is a Ped seed.
Well, what could be on Ped? They've got so many dungeons done already.
Right?
They're not missing anything that... Oh, wait.
Yeah, this was a Titansmith on the Ped seed, so... And yes, you pretty much had to do... Like, your first sword was going to have to be Saha. We do have a sword in... as we've been talking about, the Magic Bat and Purple Chest. So, like, the fact that Powder and Green Pendant are both associated with Pod, which was a pendant, which locked your mitts, which locks your Purple Chest sword, like... There were just no good options for swords or anything up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, your other sword, your Magic Bat sword locked by Pod or the Mushroom, but the Mushroom is in Pyramid Fairy, which is locked by mitts, which is locked by Pod, so that's not an option. Purple Chest, obviously locked by mitts, which is locked by Pod, not an option. And then GT, so...
Yeah.
So yeah. 3 of your swords are hard locked by the mitts, or I guess all your swords are hard locked by Pod.
And like, even for that, you had to do Hera to get the boots, to get the hook, to beat Swamp, to beat Pod, like... And you had to do Thieves to get the flippers, to beat Swamp, to beat Pod.
And Desert.
And Desert, yep.
With the book.
Yeah. There was just no way around all these earlier bosses or like swordless fights. But yeah, there's Humbugh's Master Sword, and gonna go Flute to get Tempered, and still is up the Skull Woods and Pedpole at this point.
Yeah. And Vortex also did not grab Master Sword, the sword, so I don't know if he's planning on getting Tempered. I'd be surprised. I would have, just given how Vortex plays, I would be surprised if he was planning on getting Tempered Sword, but I think that he must be.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there's like a ridiculous argument to be made that, like, do you skip both those swords and just get Master and GT? Like, I know that's so absurd, but I'm just trying to think if there's a way to make that work.
I feel like that's
My
not
instinct
worth it.
says no.
Like, I feel like Magic Bat's faster than having Master Sword for GT or for Ganon. Like, even if you ignore the amount of time you're gonna lose on the other bosses.
Well, I'm thinking like, what our other medallion is here in ice, right? So
Yep. Right there.
yeah, so like there's your Bombos. Use Bombos and Fire Rod to deal with Cold Stare pretty quickly. So like you're not benefiting major from a Tempered Sword here. Like get some good Fire Rod shots. The hammer cleanup's not terrible.
Vortex did just go and get his Master Sword here, so he's probably looking at getting Tempered in GT.
Yeah, and Vortex in the chat saying he was considering Tempered before Moth, so...
Okay. So Humbug has looked at a bunch of arrows that dropped on the ground and laughed at them, so I suspect he's planning on buying an upgrade.
I mean, at this point, yeah, I don't know how you skip the arrow purchase or the Luck Fairy upgrade.
Yeah. It's a pretty good resource for to do Mire.
Like I said, who needs a Tempered Sword?
Yeah.
And you get half magic, you know? This is great.
Look at that time save.
Yeah.
Get the half magic so you refill your magic before the crystal cutscene.
All we need now is all that time saved from Fast Realm, right?
Nope. No.
Wait, no Luck Fairy. Interesting.
No, we don't care about arrows here. I mean, he has Burna Tempered, so he'll be fine. It just like we're gonna have arrow. We're gonna be low on arrows for the rest of the seed, but not necessarily out of arrows. So we need arrows for Vanilla Big Key as well. So
I mean, at this point, Vortex, you know, down the sword, but I think the sword is kind of like not as... It's just a dungeon at this point, so... It has saved time skipping out on purple chest, it looks like. We'll see how much of a difference it makes, you know, with this, with Mire now.
alright, so now Humbug just hovers this here bridge. Embarrassing.
Nice hover. You gotta try it once, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think Humbug should be embarrassed. Nice bomb strats from Vortex. Nice hook shot. I do believe that is a no spooky situation from Humbug.
I do really like that strat. I think that is just such a great way to learn how to do dark mire there.
Oh, 100%. I will do that every time I have the equipment. But yeah, Humbug is bombing this open, so he didn't kick up dust and keep spooky. Fine. Overall, pretty smooth.
To your point, Beer, I think given the fact that Spike Room has a key and you can pick up the key in the in H Room, I think that would have been faster technically, but
Where's Big Key? I wasn't paying attention.
it was vanilla.
No, then this Spike Room and Big Key is faster. That's vanilla preset tech. Like they timed it, and it was faster to do that specific layout than it is to go back and hit the switch.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement with you. We did the same like thought, and it was just like, no, Big Key, block, and Spike is faster than switch. So yeah.
I thought Humbug did grab the Spike key.
He did grab the Spike key. He didn't grab the H key, so then he ended up in the anti-fairy room on the right side with the shadows.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what Humbug is laughing at. He save quit to old man, but this is spoiler, and we do not rescue the old man.
Yeah, all these little micro things that Telethar and I are talking about in terms of, you know, routing dungeons, like this is kind of the hardest part about spoiler is those micro optimizations that can really save time and make a big difference in the long run of the race.
Yeah. I really like these types of seeds. This one's a little bit on the excessive end, but like, I don't know, it's always... I feel like it's more fun when the seed sucks and both players are a little bit scrambling. Where otherwise it's just like, who like when the seeds are free and it's just like, yeah, you go to Kakariko and you get your flute and then you flute over and you get your boots and you get a sword and then you just like go beat 8 dungeons and everything's on the way. It's like, yeah, I mean that's cool, but like then I'm just doing like a really shitty version of NMG. Like
I will say this seed was nice in that it wasn't really much or really any double dipping besides Eastern.
Yeah, it's just all dungeons except for Aga.
But it's like you go into Thieves, you can beat Thieves. You go to Skull, you can beat Skull. It's not like dip Skull for some BS item and then come back.
Let's go Vortex.
Yo.
Pog.
Nice.
That's huge. He's already won this. Oh, okay, Humbug. Nice. This is how Vortex comes back. He's basically caught up by now.
Yeah, I mean, you combine the hover with the spooky here.
Yeah, I mean, that spooky's going to put him ahead.
I mean, honestly, you take out the Thieves Catastrophe, I feel like Vortex would have been ahead here.
Yeah, I mean, Humbug has grabbed a lot of... Like, that Tempered Sword is a really slow Tempered Sword. And it doesn't really make any sense to grab. Like, what do you need it for? Vidi is not scary as is, and like you could have grabbed the arrow upgrade and if you were worried about that, and it still would have been immensely faster. Hell, you could have grabbed silvers, and that would have been faster than grabbing the tempered sword. But like, given Humbugg's position in the race, I think a lot of these decisions were very reasonable. Do you think it's faster to grab the silvers and like on the way up to TR or from TR afterwards?
From TR afterwards. I don't see a way I could ever argue for getting silvers before TR here. Like,
I mean,
what are you using them for here?
oh, I mean purely, is it faster to grab them before or after? Not like
Oh, so you're
having them early.
saying
Skip
I don't think
Paradox Cave and climb Super Bunny and then mirror to TR. So that's what Vortex is doing.
See, I think the thing is that
Super Bunny is slower than Paradox, but
you're going like Humbug's
don't
gonna have
have
to exit Super Bunny.
yeah, Humbug has to walk in and out of Super Bunny anyway now at this point, which is
But Vortex also
significant.
has the extra mirror now.
yeah,
The extra 2 mirror transitions. Well, the into Dark World, out of Dark World.
yeah. I don't know which one's faster.
Oh, nice free arrows. And I mean, even those free arrows aren't really a big deal because, as you said, like the big key itself for Ganon's Tower is vanilla in this race. So, like, you're gonna have to spend the time getting the arrows inside a GT.
Yeah. I mean, with silvers, there's actually plenty of arrows on the way to Ice Armos. Where's keys for this? Okay, they don't need any keys. There's a fire snake key that's free. You think Humbug grabs the armor out of Rando Room?
No, but I think you grab that red goo.
That seems like it's not too far out of the way.
No. Yeah, and as you were saying, those keys are actually really well placed for skipping a lot of the rooms here.
So it was about 25 seconds when Humbug would have been dashing left. I'm just curious how long this takes. He skips the arrows, that's fine. Probably has sufficient arrows. Just a little over 30 seconds, like 37 seconds to grab the item out of Super Bunny. I think the two chomps are being chomps. 2 mirror transitions is, I think, like 7 seconds each. Is that right?
Something like that.
So it's a question of if Super Bunny is 20 seconds slower than Paradox to climb.
Did Vortex skip a key? Did we miss him skipping? Did he skip the pokey?
Yeah, you don't. This is faster.
Oh, where's the? There's a nice key on Laser Bridge.
Top left, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's really quite a quick one. The sword that Vortex skipped was on purple chest. He will get Tempered Sword. Just not the one that Humbug got.
Clean fight. You do skip that red goo.
Apparently.
It's too far out of the way.
I mean, it was right in front of your face.
You had to go out of your way to not open the chest. It's too far out of your way. Probably would have been faster to grab the red goo and then use it here and then to use Burna. I think Humbug is just in execute mode.
Yeah.
I need this, and that's all that's on my brain.
Like, I probably would have picked up that arrow pot, but I think, there's some decent ones, at least, in the climb.
Yeah, there's the 5 off of in the Stalfos room at the beginning, so that's
yeah, and G2.
I don't understand. Humbug doesn't do cannonballs, so he's a rando main, but he's complaining about faster. I'm like he's a NMG main. What's the deal?
Wait, we're skipping the arrows too?
It's fine. There's arrows.
Fire rod, landmo?
Nah, you just.
Oh, you just get a drop from the red Zizak there. Okay. Planned.
Though I probably fire rod this idiot.
Yeah.
I think we're realizing we have powder too. We don't need it. I feel like we need it, but we don't need it. Four arrows, exactly what we need to finish this seed. No humbug torches today. Does humbug run NMG? I feel like the answer is no. Look at this guy. I think he has a 125. Like mid 125? Yeah,
Exactly mid.
Exactly mid.
Yeah. On the dot 32nd.
Well, he didn't even go for cannonballs, Fox. Like, you really gonna defend him?
I mean, Telethar, you're going to do an MG, right? Get an official time.
Oh, so Vortex skipped his tempered sword. Sorry, did you say so? I didn't hear. Surely that tempered sword is worth it.
Yeah,
Like,
I would have thought so. I mean, we know Vortex is watching, so like I wouldn't be shocked if he's kind of like, you know what, why not? Let's just play it out. Tempered Sword was in Hope Room.
Has anyone got a sub 123 yet? Yes. Eddie Kota something, you know, his name changes frequently, but he had an official 122.59, I think it was.
Yes.
And then he had a 122.49 run, but he lost like internet and no recording for like 2 screens in pod that like he obviously didn't cheat on because they weren't even good, but you need the recording, so that didn't stick. But still, sub 122. Meanwhile, Humbug, very clean Ganon.
Yep. 4 silvers was just enough.
And GG.
Yep, Humbug finishing with an official race time of 1:20.05. That includes the 15-minute spoiler period. So that 1:05.55 or 1:05.5, sorry.
And so we were talking about this earlier, and we did say that this was going to be a 1 hour plus seeds.
Yep. And Vortex confirming in chat, he just forgot Tempered. And he did forfeit soon after the completion from Humbug. But we are now joined by Humbug. GG.
Thanks. GG.
GG.
Hey.
How do you feel?
Exhausted. I want to go to bed.
That was
I'm
a
so
cool
tired.
seed.
What was that? Why do I get bits on pet seed and sword on the like the first sword, the only available sword before ped wasn't independent. Why?
First sword at 35 minutes. Pretty great.
No. Oh.
So how much were you watching the race?
None.
None. So you were not aware that you were ahead?
No, I had no idea.
So then, yep. And we're also joined by Vortex. GG's.
GG, Vortex.
Yo, GG.
So,
Yeah.
Vortex had some unfortunate, things were hard, and things didn't go Vortex's way. So the lead was pretty solidly on your side, Humbug, since about Thieves Town.
Alright.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get Berna. I was gonna just trust my Samaria blind. And then I was like, I got the library heart, and I was like, do I trust myself? And I don't know, maybe I should have. Maybe if I hadn't forgotten the small key, or forgotten that I needed it more specifically.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a disastrous back, or if I stayed in the attic and farmed the crickets for hearts, I don't know.
Yeah,
All I needed was one more hit, but
it's one of those things where like you probably would have been perfectly fine on Hammer Samaria, but you started to doubt yourself. You're like, oh, I should grab Burner for safety, and then you like, oh, now I need to do this for safety, and it's just suddenly the entire fight gets out of hand. But like, I bet if you go into the practice hack right now, you do 2 phases on Hammer and then the last phase on Samaria, and you don't even get hit.
Yeah. I probably should have. I looked at how much time the lamp cost me, and I don't really regret it. Like, I think the lamp was a reasonable choice.
Yeah.
I think it was a cheaper safety that, well, not that much cheaper, but it probably saved more time than Burna. I don't know, maybe not if I stayed on on Master. That was also I probably should have just gotten Purple Chest, but I was watching and I was like, that's taking Humbug so much time. Like that's one of the only things I can claw back, and I don't think it's actually worth it to get Purple Chest.
Oh no!
I think if you get the sword from Magic Bat, it at least gets slightly better. But I kind of agree that it might have been.
It's a lot of time to go grab Purple Chest.
I know, but I did have to go to Hope Room.
That's true.
Yeah,
that
I
does.
didn't either because I forgot it.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that Purple Chest sword is probably like in isolation taking you about 50 seconds to grab.
Probably,
or maybe a little more, and then maybe you save a little bit of that time back on Hope Room, but like you don't make it up for.
Yeah, it's more of a. I know I will play better with it.
Yeah. I just needed to take any potential win I could get.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like it's the same thing with like your blind fight. If you go in there like knowing, like if you're comfortable, regardless your equipment, if you're comfortable, it's fine. And I am not necessarily comfortable with Master Sword Vidi with no lamp and things can go wrong in the dark. Sure, I have Burna, but I can run out of magic. There are things that can happen, and I just didn't want them to. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I shouldn't have. I should have done Magic Bat before I went to Ped, or I should have done Magic Bat and then done Ped with Moth. But I was gonna do Purple Chest, so I went straight to Ped to have Tempered for Moth, and then I was like, well, that's not worth it. And then it might have been worth it making 2 trips, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like I think if assuming you have perfect execution and nothing goes wrong, I think you're just grabbing Master Sword off of Bat and then doing Skullwoods is the faster play. But
and I mean my boss fights went fine. Like Vidi was a little slower than it probably should have been, but my boss fights were good enough to justify the tempered skip alone.
Yeah.
One interesting thought I had about the opening was just going straight to Dam. That was 6 bombs.
That's what I did. I got 3, but I didn't see that there was 6 bombs. Another 3 as the Sunken Treasure. So I got those 3 to just open up Saha, and then I got the money over there to buy more bombs. But I didn't actually catch the fact that there was 3 more bombs as the Sunken Treasure. That would have been a nice opening though.
Really wanted to just farm a guard on the way to Saha's Closet.
Yeah.
Just like open with that, get a free bomb, but I wasn't willing to chance it.
Same.
Yeah, we were discussing some of the opening routes. The Dam one's interesting. Do you know how much faster fluting to 5 is than walking from Link's house
with boots? It's about 10 seconds, I think.
What about without boots and sword?
I don't know.
I would not be surprised if it's basically the same.
Yeah, it's very, very marginal.
At which point, I think you can pretty comfortably just go grab your glove out of Eastern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mostly did it to get flute right away.
Yeah.
And I think the openings, like well into Blind Set and Save and Quit, was actually like reasonably efficient. Like you do walk the pack twice, and I would have if I had I saw Humbug getting Maze Race, and I was like, I didn't see anything necessary there, and then I saw it was Burna, and I was like, oh, well, that's a little like, that's pretty conservative, and then I realized blind was swordless, and I was like, oh, like maybe one of my trips to CAC should have been that way, but I probably shouldn't have gotten it when I went late. Just full sent it.
Yeah, you Vortex, you did come out ahead in the first like 2 minutes or through whatever it is that first opening before you actually like you came out you finished Moldorm ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that I was a little ahead there, and that's what made me decide like let's just get the lamp.
Yeah,
Though
which I think was.
I did know he had Berna, but yeah, no, I was pretty happy with my route. This was a stupid seed to route. Like,
Oh yeah.
looking at everything and like, oh yeah, that left side swamp is skippable, that book's skippable, and until you realize that no, they aren't.
They are not.
I thought about going to pod right side alone, just to get a sword.
Yeah.
Doing that early.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same, because as anyone could see, Hammer Argus is cursed.
You have
Get that
fire
out of
rod?
my game. Well, yes, but
I didn't have
No.
magic. I tried doing the stupid 6 arrow phase 2. Didn't go well.
I think it's 8 arrow.
Or 8 arrow. Yeah, it's.
that's why it didn't work.
But, yeah. Well, no, I didn't get 2 in a row. Well, I think I might have, but.
That thing is so cursed.
Yeah, like-
But I was out of magic because I died to blind, so I didn't really have a choice. Like I could have just done hammer, but that's boring, and I was 2 minutes behind. So
Understandable.
um,
So
yeah, like running through swamp on green mail with 5 hearts, no sword, is terrifying. Everything hits you. It's so terrifying.
So, Humbug, you're going to advance. Vortex, this is the end of your SGL life.
uh,
GG's.
It was fun. I knew I have not been playing as much as I once did. I know I'm a little not quite as in practice and in game shape, but I still had a lot of fun and got a couple wins, which was cool. But I knew going in this was going to be a tough match, and yeah, GG again, Humbug.
Yeah,
good luck
GG's.
next round.
Thank you.
So, your opponents, Humbug, are playing tomorrow.
Damn.
And they have conveniently scheduled their race to be allowed to use Specky Clip by 10 minutes. So,
Really?
No,
Yeah.
we're allowed to, but we didn't specifically plan it out.
I mean, with one of you on the TARP leadership.
Yeah, I know.
it's
That's what I've heard.
Not that far fetched of a conclusion.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can catch that. We'll see. But yeah, it's like spoiler is so execution heavy, and while I think I have played slightly more than Vortex recently, I also have like my play time of the game has slightly decreased recently, and I can feel that. I can feel that in the minuscule details of the game where I'm not as sharp as when I play a lot. But it's really fun either way, and this tourney is probably the most stacked tourney of them all, I think.
yeah, this
Concur.
like you look at the top 16, you're just like, I'm sorry, why? Like,
Look at the winners bracket.
Yeah, the last 2 standing in winners bracket is the last 4 was crazy too, but
Yeah.
we're down to the 2.
interesting
Right.
that the last 4 in winners bracket was seed 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
I wonder why. But yeah, it's so stacked and it's so tough, but it's really fun. It's a mode that's just so satisfying to get right, kind of, because you can feel it. You can feel yourself getting it right once you do, and it's very satisfying when it happens.
All right. I guess we probably wrap it up. If anyone has any final thoughts.
No, nothing apart from a huge thank you to Speedgaming and to both Jesse and Teletar for calming this, and for trackers and all of that. It's a blast.
They cover.
Yeah, I'll keep that. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for the restream and GG's again. Yeah, later.
I don't know who signs us out, but someone feel free.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Watch plenty of SGL stuff and all that other.